Hi guys, and thanks for tuning in to my video today. I'm going to be showing you how I made some of the Shopkins characters. So in my previous video, I actually was able to find some Shopkins, and these are three of the ones that I got. So we have Corny Cob, Peta Plunger, and Silly Chilli. So I decided I was going to try and make these out of clay. So I will show you the ones that I created. And I think my favorite one is actually the Silly Chilli. I think that's the one that actually turned out the best. So this is the original Shopkins. You can tell it's a bit brighter, it's pinker, and this one turned out a bit more red. But I think for the most part it looks pretty similar. And I'll show you Corny Cob. This is the Shopkins, and this one's mine here. So it's a little bit bigger. I did try to get it as close to the same size as possible. So these were actually really fun to make. And for people that maybe can't afford Shopkins or enjoy making things out of clay, I do recommend making them. I think they're fun and they're cute, and you can kind of just put your own little spin on it. So I've never used resin before, but I think for any of them that look translucent, that's probably the best thing to use. So mine turned out a little bit pinker, and it's not as translucent, but it's still pretty cute. Okay, so as you can see here, I have some of the clay laid out that you'll need. For the Silly Chilli, I just used some bright pink. This is all Sculpey and Craft Smart clay from Michaels. So I'm going to mix sort of a red, and I have a lighter red and pink together to try and get that fuchsia pink color. And I'm going to use this here for the top of the chili, as well as this. So this is pretty much all that you would need to create the chili there. And for the plunger, I used a bit of translucent, plus a nice light pink, and one of the effects clay, which is, it ends up looking sort of like a gemstone. So I'm going to mix all those colors together. And as you can see, you don't really need a whole lot of clay, so it's not really necessary to go out and buy a lot. It will last, the little packs that you get. And then just for the handle, it's just a beige clay. Now unfortunately I didn't, a lot of the clay that I have, I've taken out of the package and kept in these storage containers, so I don't actually have the names of the colors. So this one here for Corny Cob, I'm just using a yellow and green here, sort of a lime green. So just flatten out a piece, and this will be for the husk. And then we have a little circle here for the feet, and two little pieces here for the hands. So I'm going to go ahead, let's see, let's start with the Silly Chilli. So you can just watch, and hopefully you guys find this video easy to follow and helpful. So here we go. Okay guys, so I'm pretty happy with the way that this turned out, so I'm going to set this aside and start working on, let's start with, maybe we'll do the Peta Plunger next. So we'll set this aside. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix in the clay. Okay, so this is pretty much it for the plunger. I'm hoping that since I added a bit more of the translucent clay that it'll show up a bit better once it's baked. It might look a little bit more see-through. So I'm just going to set this guy aside next to our other one that we've made, and we'll go ahead and start on Corny Cob. So this is the original Shopkins, and this is the one that I made. So I'm just going to use the pieces that I have here, and hopefully you can follow along. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like before I go ahead and bake them. And they're pretty much all about the same size as the actual Shopkins. So as you can see, it doesn't really take too many pieces really to create them. If you have any of the seams that show, you can just blend that out. And I find if you just take one of the, like a tool that you have, you can just kind of flatten it out like that, so then you won't see any of the seams, and then just kind of blend it with your finger. Whoa, it squished his arm here. And that will happen, so that's why it's a good idea to put the hands on last, or any little pieces that might stick out there. So it almost looks like he's wearing a little coat. It's cute. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my toaster oven ready. I'm gonna bake these probably between 250 to 275 degrees Celsius, and probably bake them for well, I always preheat my toaster oven for 10 minutes, and then I'll bake them between 20 to 25 minutes. I know the translucent clay you have to keep an eye on because it can burn fairly easily. So we will bake these, and I will paint the faces on them and show you how or what they look like when they're done. So before I pop these into the toaster oven, I just wanted to mention I had previously said that it's 275 degrees Celsius, but it's actually Fahrenheit. So it's important to follow the package details for the baking instructions, because depending on which clay you use, it's going to all vary. So between 250 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes is how long I'll bake these for. And I'll keep a close eye on this one here because it's the effects clay. I find if it's baked too long or too high of a temperature, it can blister a little bit on the bottom, so it's important to keep an eye on that. Okay, so here are the finished Shopkins characters. I haven't glazed these yet, but I will. I do use just a triple thick brand of glaze. I'll put 1 or 2 coats on and let it dry. So I've already gone ahead and put the face on these ones. I will make a video showing how to do the eyes and whatnot. I just use a small paintbrush and start with white paint, just making the circles, and then well, this one has a little wink, so it's cute there. But it's actually, I mean, it will take some practice, but you know, if there's an easier way to do it, then you know, just to keep practicing and whatnot. But I do find like just putting the white on first, letting that dry, and then go in with the black details. And you could use markers if that's if you find that easier. I might try that sometime. But for right now, I just been painting them on with a little tiny paintbrush and just acrylic. I don't know actually the name of the paint. It's from Michael's. It's just I think it's Artist Loft. So so there we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I found that it was helpful. And please leave me a comment if you'd like to see a certain Shopkins made, and I will give it a shot. So thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.